Hello again, welcome back to Asgard, and welcome back to Stacia. So I'm on the server right now with Fur3 Fry, Purely Platonic, RDFA, and Tyler. And right now, it's night, but is that not running? Why is that not running? It must have just shut off because it was running. I have determined that we cannot run that. Ooh, I need that Enderman actually, if I can. No ender pearl. Okay. Did I turn off this diesel? I think I did. Yeah. That's why we don't have power. Yeah, I must have turned that off. I thought I turned it on, but I made 4 more portable generators. I did manage to run out all of the gasoline, which is good because we have a way to void out the lubricant, but we aren't voiding out gasoline or diesel, but now we're actually using it, so that's good. We'll go ahead and kick that back on, get all this running again. And I did do a bunch of mining between episodes. You can actually see this backpack is filled. This backpack is filled. This one doesn't have anything in it, but that's okay. And then also, this is filled. You can see nether quartz there. And I have just been crushing that through the crushers. I'm also crushing coal at the moment. And I did get all this plugged up. I got a relay right there. And just got all this plugged up and kind of organized. Temporarily organized. It's still an absolute mess and a huge death trap, but that's okay for the time being. Now what we're going to do today, because we're actually starting to get power sorted and we have a decent amount of materials to really like kind of push today, so we're going to be doing a bit of cutting, I imagine. But the very first thing I would like to do, since I can't really, I mean, I can clean up cables right now. Until I actually start decorating this out, it's going to be a mess anyway we go about it. I think what we're going to do first and foremost is, let me pop over here, and I do need to get more steel running because I totally forgot about steel. But let's go ahead, we're going to open up the excavator because I want to get this thing up and going today, I think. Let me see how much steel I got. About a stack. Yeah, it's not going to be enough. We're going to eat through a lot of iron up front this episode. I may actually, because I got a bit of iron, but I didn't get like an astronomical amount of iron. Just a few stacks, and I've already used a bit of it. So I may actually have to go mining for a bit of iron. But I'm going to get the stuff together here in a minute for the excavator. This does take, 3 radiator blocks. We have a few, but I don't know how many. Well, there you go. We got 3. That's perfect. I know we had some left over, so that's all already taken care of. I don't have to worry about those. That's fine. I'll get that stuff together, but what we need to do right now, can I... Well, I'm going to do some checking around, because let's grab this. And let's also get... Actually, I've got wire... Okay, I'm good. The samples that we took, we had cinnabar sample there. We had cinnabar there, and that was our crude oil. And then up here, we had just igneous rock. We don't really want that. That's going to be like diorite, andesite. Let's go... Oh, and then cinnabar there with water reservoir. Let's set this up here and take a sample real quick. And let's go ahead and scan that. Because we need to find... Ideally, I'd like to find iron. Because if we can get an excavator set up that's just mining like an iron reserve, oh, that's going to be golden. Because you're talking about like probably thousands and thousands of iron, and we really won't have to worry about iron. And that's really what we're using a lot of. No mineral, no fluid reservoir. Beautiful. That is garbage. I like to leave these sitting though, so that we kind of remember that we did scan here. Okay, well in that case, let's do a sample. Let's actually open up chunk boundaries. This would be, I think it's every chunk, right? It's different. So let's come out and we'll take a sample here. Which of course wouldn't be anything. There's nothing under there. Oh, oops. I'm telling you, I'm going to die so many times with all these. I mean, like Enigmatica, I went like months without dying, and then I set up some HV cables and died and lost like 300 and something levels, you know. Because what I'm thinking is we set up an excavator, we have it on a redstone signal, and we just kind of toggle it on and off. because I don't want to dedicate. I mean, the excavator takes a lot of power. So it's not something that I want to run just consistently. But if we find one with a good, like, iron vein... there's a water reservoir here. You know what? Honestly, instead of doing core samples for all of this, I mean, finding oil, we kind of got a little bit lucky. Let's do some survey tools. Because this is just going to make life so much easier than walking around, setting that up every time. Because this will be nightmarish if we do it this way. I mentioned them last episode, you know, and if it had taken longer to find oil, I probably would have made some survey tools, but it didn't take very long. Ideally, we need something kind of close to here. Oh, you know what? Feather. Yeah, I don't have a feather, but I have a plan for that. I should have actually grabbed this when we came across it, but I know where it's at. It's just right over the river. We found this the other day. It was like episode 2 or something. Realistically, it hasn't been a long time since then for me. It might be for you guys, like right over here. I want this. Wild fluffy plant. We got fluffy seeds. And let me, let me just slash home. Just save us a little bit of time. And let me go get some bone meal. Okay, and what we're going to do, let's come down here. I don't have anything planted here at the end. And we are just going to grow up a bunch of that. That's going to give us a bit of fluffy puffs. And this we can turn into feathers. Fluffy puff, super useful, strangely useful plant. Because we can make fluffy feathers, we can make white wool, we can make fluffy fabric, fluffy string, and fluffy seeds with this. So we're going to go with fluffy feathers. And this just converts over into a feather. Okay, and we specifically have to have an ink sac. No other kind of like black dye or anything will work. It used to, but of course used to, ink sacs were black dye, and now there's actually black dye in Minecraft, so... And there's our mineral survey tools. By the way, and something I want to check, if we go here to mineral deposits, we go through, this is going to tell us the different deposits. Now, I think the one I'm going to want is probably chalcopyrite, because that's the 35% iron, copper, and sulfur. But, what other ones have iron? Laterite has bauxite and iron, which is not bad. That's a nether one. We're not doing nether. Pentlandite is iron and nickel. That would actually be very worthwhile because nickel's something that we do go through a lot. So pentlandite or chalcopyrite. That's only 20% iron than the zinc. I don't really want that. Yeah, pentlandite or chalcopyrite. Alright, so for example, if we come out like right here, there we go. There are traces of igneous rock here. Okay, but we already know there's cinnabar and igneous rock. It's weird because I have to hold this for like a while. It could be my my Zito media. Traces of laterite. What is which one's laterite? Kind of handy to have this book on us. That is the bauxite and iron. Just so we have a sample here, because that might be a spot that we could benefit having, to be honest, because I mean that's iron right at our back door. So depending on what else we find today, that might be something that we use. Let's go ahead and set up a core sample and take that, and this is going to give us a better idea of what we actually have, because that's just going to give us, if we keep scanning it, it may tell us some other things that are there. But this is going to tell us exact amounts. So if we find something interesting, it's worth hitting that with the core sample drill. But these are good. If you don't have luck, I tend to just core sample for a little bit, and then if I find I'm not really finding something, you know, I found oil pretty quick. Usually that's the case, but if I'm looking for very specific metal types, I tend to maybe have to do the mineral survey tools, to be honest. Okay, so this is 100% laterite. It's a 98.99% saturation, which means Oh my god. That is extremely lucky. That is extremely lucky. Because usually, a lot of times, like, for example, okay, let's go take a look at these Cinnabars. I think they're, like, nowhere near that saturation. Yeah, so, like this, for example, this Cinnabar. This is 24.12% Cinnabar, 75.88% igneous rock. Saturation, 2.8% on the Cinnabar, which is absolutely horrendous. And the saturation on the igneous is 23.34%. And basically what that tells you is that the excavator, when the saturation is only 2.8%, it's going to run excessively slow to get Cinnabar, which will be like redstone and stuff. But having... I'm not even going to look for more ores at this point. Having this right here, 100% laterite, so I mean, we're straight up getting bauxite and iron. It's going to be great. It's going to be absolutely great. Okay, so yeah, we're going to rock with that. I'm not even going to keep looking. That is like perfect. Because it's right there. Like, I don't even have to go anywhere. Okay, so now I'm going to get everything prepped up for the excavator at this point. Get all this stuff prepped up, and then we're going to start mining. Now, once again, I am, since we have not updated yet because we're waiting, I know there was some issues with the updates right now as far as stability issues and like some little bugs and stuff. I am going to have to cheat in my blocks of steel, but let's see. Well, I don't have enough steel on me at the moment, but once I get enough steel, I'm going to have to cheat those in, but I'm going to trade off. I am going to trade off for that, just like we did last episode. There's my 9 blocks, so I'll just dump that in there, and I'm going to get some more coal coke. And I do feel like this is a nice change of pace because it's actually been a while since we did a lot with immersive engineering, like in a series. And really the last time, I think, was SevTech Ages, and then it was more just like we were excavating or pump jacking for oil. Now, we're going to be using this for materials, which I think will be fun. At this point, we are ready to set up an excavator. Oh, and then I have to trade in those steel blocks. If those are done, then we're going to have to trade those in real quick. They're getting there. That's fine. They're going to be for the... Let me set it to selection mode. They're going to be for the wheel part, so we can go ahead and start off the excavator. Go ahead and select that. We're going to set this up. Oh, let me switch projection mode. There we go. We're going to be setting the excavator up right here. Just basically straddling the ore sample where we took that. And let's go ahead and build this out. I think everybody's having a blast with this pack too. Like, which I'm honestly surprised. I was surprised. I'll be completely honest. I was surprised that this pack is as good as it is, considering 1.16. I mean, the modded scene hasn't been here this long for 1.16. I don't even know when some of these mods got updated, you know. I did hear that Tinkers is getting added in the next update. That's kind of strange to me with Tetra and Silence, but it's whatever. You know, I'm not worried about it. Okay, I can't remember. Can we... Yeah, we should be able to form this without... Is it? Yeah, right there. Okay, so there's our excavator. And diggy hole. Yeah. I always love it when you get the purple ones. Well, it sticks out 3 and in the middle. Okay. So actually, I think right there is where it needs to be. Okay, so now let's see if our steel blocks are done, because that's actually the first block that I need. Okay, it's almost done. Well, it's going to take me a second to... Golf. It's going to take me a second to type the command here. And we need the storage steel 9. There we go. And now we'll just trade off. So there we go. So we got our blocks of steel. Once again, if you didn't watch the last episode, I'm doing that at the moment because it seems to be a bug, and supposedly it's being fixed in the next update, is what Tyler said he had heard. And basically an issue where the immersive engineering steel blocks are uncraftable until really late in the game, but it doesn't seem to be intended. It's not like an intended recipe. It wasn't like a handmade recipe, and they have you making stuff that takes that like seemingly early into the pack, but oh, whoops, that is that yeah, that's steel. Okay, because you have to get the pump jack, but you wouldn't be able to get the pump jack if you couldn't get steel blocks of steel. So it's kind of weird. And this is basically just a huge iron dump. There we go. Yeah, we got to click the middle. Okay, so then we'll just fix this back and click that back. Okay, so now we're ready to run this beast. Now, before we get this rolling, I'm going to go ahead and make a lever so that we can toggle this on and off, because this thing is a power hog, and it's probably not something that I want to run too much. But we'll see. And then our power, yep, is on that side. Beautiful. So we're going to go ahead. Honestly, I'm probably just going to plug up one HV wire connector. I don't see much reason to plug up more. That's not going to be able to go, is it? It's funny, too, because I'm like, oh, the core sample drill, it's going to take too long. Let's make the survey tools. And what do you know? The very first thing that we check, like actually check, we knew that one was Cinnabar, but the very first thing that we actually check, and it's, oh, what do you know? What we were after. So, works out. Let me go ahead, turn that off, turn that redstone on so that it doesn't let this run at the moment. And then we'll just run that over. Look, we're even turning our nether portal into a big death trap too. It's great. Okay, so this has power. It's ready to run. We are going to need to set up item storage from this though. And to do that, I would love to make an ender chest. That's why I was wanting to get ender pearls, but so far I have not had any luck. I don't think I have. I have one. That's fine. It's all right. We'll try to get that here in a minute. But for right now, what I would like to do, let's get. I tell you what. Let's just get for right now a storage crate, and that way we can actually kind of physically see what all we're getting from this too, which is quite nice. So let's get. Is this set to, yeah, it's set to plates. Perfect. Let's go ahead and just run those through. And then it's 3 diamonds. No way around it. 3 diamonds per rod. But I just want to make sure that we have some hefty storage for this, because this is going to be a hefty boy, I tell you what. Especially with that saturation, we should be able to turn over. Oh, I made 4. That's fine. I'm going to end up making more of those at some point, I'm sure. Honestly, feel like just a colossal chest would be good too. Just plug it up to the excavator and let it go, because then it could store like everything. I think this can deposit directly. So if we just put our crate here and we start running this is going to start turning up. Yeah, we're just getting a whole lot of dirt right now. That's fine. Oh, there's something. That's not dirt. Oh, and you can see it dug out this little space right here. That's where the dirt came from. But we should start seeing good returns now. So I probably could have mined that up, but just let that do its thing. All right, so yeah, here we go. We're getting bauxite. And can we crush this in the, yes we can, and we'll get aluminum dust. Awesome. This is like the perfect vein too, because this is like the 2 materials that I just eat through like it's going out of style. Oh, it's going to be so nice. It is going to use a bit of power, to be sure. If we take a look over here, oh, look at that diesel. Look at that diesel, and I think it's going up. Let me see. 390.7 buckets. If we're going up and we're running that thing, oh, yeah, it's going up. It is going up. It's basically, we're nomming through our gasoline right now. We are using a little bit of diesel. But, look at this. I don't even need this many portable generators, I don't feel like. After I ran through the buffer, it was just like, now it's just like, no, we don't really need that many, but it doesn't hurt to have them. That's a good sign, though, that we're going up on diesel. We're running our entire oil system, and we're running an excavator albeit not maximum speed, because we're not really producing maximum speed at the moment, or enough to run it, because this diesel generator, I think they produce 4096, right? I think it's like 1-to-1 for these, if I recall. It may tell in here. Yeah, they produce 4096. But these little portable generators, I think they only produce like 100 and something each, so it's like 800 RF. But I know we're using more power from this and this, so we're not running this at full speed, but it's not running too slow at the moment. I mean, I've still got a mine, but the two things that I just nom through like crazy fast, I mean, I would like to find a deposit with nickel, but if we mine up a good like 38,000 or 30 whatever thousand ores from this, how many was it? I can't remember. It's like 30 something thousand. About 31,000 ores expected. If we mine up 31,000 bauxite and aluminum, I'm going to be okay with that. I tell you what, we're going to go for the crusher and an electric furnace for right now, and then we will push on to the arc furnace before long. I just feel like that's going to take a little bit more infrastructure than what I've really got at the moment. Oh gosh, all that aluminum. Because I would like to kind of just automate coal coke and stuff for that. So I think we'll just go for that for right now. Because I think the crusher, I think we can pull that off without too much headache. Because it's just 10 steel scaffold, 10 light engineering, redstone engineering, which I've got, steel fences, and hoppers. Ooh, hoppers a little bit expensive, but okay. I might actually have enough iron on hand. I was really hoping to not touch my iron coming from the excavator so we could do it all at once, but we'll just have to see, because I may have to dig into that just a little bit. But let me get the stuff prepped up for this, and I'll be back here in just a minute. Okay, yeah, I've got everything now except for the hoppers. This is where it's going to hurt, because that's a lot of iron. There's 3 hoppers. At this point, we could go ahead and set this up, though. What I'm going to do for this is I'm actually going to move... This mine's going to be kind of in the way. I'm going to set it up right over here. I will shift this over. But I think what we're going to do... we're going to go right here and set this up. And then it's going to be that. That. And then our light engineering blocks. We'll go ahead and get everything but the hoppers put on. I'm gonna have to get some of the... I'm gonna have to tap into some of the iron from the excavator, but that's okay. I was really wanting to kind of save that. I might have some iron lying around. Let me check. Just a second, but it's time to dig deep. Do I have some iron here? And there's our other 6. Yeah, we got enough iron. We got 4 left over. Look at that. Ugh. I am gonna have to tap into the iron, though, I think, for the machine frames to make the electric furnace, but we can do that in just a moment. Alright, so then we'll just set up our hoppers. And we did actually complete this quest, so I am going to turn this one in. It's just grass. I swear I got to get looting on this sword bad. Okay, so let's go ahead and smack this. There we go. Hazardous machinery. But one thing I do want to do is I want to attach an HV wire connector there. Get my hammer back out. We'll go ahead and put one right here. Click that. And that way we've got a feed through insulator. And then we'll just run out. Try to make this a little bit less death trappy. Let's go here. And then we'll just connect over like that. And then we'll connect over like that. We're going to have to get into the storage drawers because it's about time to start delving into that. Alright, so we'll go ahead and just plug up our crusher. So power is basically just going to run over here, so it's not dangerous for us. That connects to that. And now our crusher has power. Okay. Honestly, it might... I don't think I have any more relay. No, I don't have any more relays. I'll probably make some because I think I'd rather bring the power up and then over. And that's so that we can run it down to an electric furnace. But this will be fine for now. Okay, so at this point, do I want to go with an ender chest or do I just want to bring it over? The thing is, if we move the excavator, we're going to need an ender chest. I'm going to have to get a pearl. And I'm going to have to farm up some blaze rods. So give me a minute. I'm going to farm up 8 blaze rods. And we're going to be going with like gray. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, so let's go ahead now and get our ender chests. So they're going to be gray, gray, gray. And then we are going to set this up. We're going to switch. Just go ahead and diamond lock that. No. I want to carry on. Can I carry on ender chest? Maybe not. Okay, we're going to put it right there. You can see it's tossing things into the world. And right now, this is where we stand on iron and bauxite. So not too bad at the moment. Let me go ahead now and just move all this into there. We're going to use the crate steel, but at least for the time being. I guess if we get into drawers, we won't necessarily need it, probably. But so what we're going to do, jump up here, and actually it might be easier to do it. Well, actually, I think, doesn't this work? Of course, I think it will maybe mess up my cable. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, so we'll just feed our ores in that way. And that way we still have access to this, easy access to it. And then we'll just start processing down all this iron. And the crusher will go through it pretty fast. And one thing we can do, we can get one of these. Now, I need another ender pearl and more blaze powder and all that to make a ender tank. But we can set this up to the lubricator line. But we'll go ahead and just grab one of these. And then when I get the ender pearl and the blaze rods, we can get this thing set up. Where does it go? I bet it goes on the back, doesn't it? I bet it does. I bet it does. Yeah, it goes right there. Of course it does. Of course it does. Well, we're going to go ahead and set it up. And then I can put the ender tank right there, and that'll be fine. Because there's no use not lubricating it. Because that's just going to speed up our output and everything. So, now what we're going to do... Let's see, how's this going? It's starting to get to the bauxite. We've got iron again. Oh, it's so nice. Let's take a look at the furnace. Actually, you know what? As long as we can pull this off, that is doable. That is doable. That is doable. Ha ha ha. Yeah, I'll tell you what we're gonna do here. Let's grab our gold furnace. We can upgrade this at this point, I think, to the with the diamond furnace takes 6. Yeah. Okay, let's do this. There's our diamond furnace. Yay. How many emeralds do we have? 3, but I do have some emerald ore. That's 8. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and push for this. Okay, so there's our emerald furnace. Alright, so there's our wireless heat transmitter. And then we're going to get a wireless heat receiver. There we go. And let's go set this up. The emerald furnace, we're going to have it setting... And then what we'll do is we'll just set up the wireless heat transmitter, like, I don't know, here. And then we're going to set up a wire connector there, and we're going to open this up, and we're going to put in the wireless heat receiver. That's going to link it. And then we just connect this over. That's going to start giving this some power. It's actually got a pretty big internal buffer of 1,000,000 RF, but that's okay. And then what we can do is just drop that into the coal slot. And now if we were to throw in, for example, like, you know, a piece of aluminum, That's going to heat this, and it's going to cook it. You can see it's pretty fast. The emerald furnace is pretty fast. And what's nice is it's exact. You know, coal, I know it was brought up in the comments, there is tiny coal, but at this point, we just smelt, and it uses up however much power it needs to. And it tends to be, I think, pretty efficient on power. This is weird, though. It says 16,960, but we have a million RF. It's just, like, really wonky with the display there. But it doesn't really matter. You know, it's not just draining power or anything like that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to get the blasting augment, because everything that we should be running through that's going to be blasting. Oh, I need another furnace. Good. And I need iron. Okay. Let me actually just smelt some of our iron real quick. And let me get the smooth stone smelted up. Now, the blasting augment, it's going to have the cook time for blasting recipes, but it's going to only allow for blasting recipes. That's fine for our needs, and we can easily pull it out if we need to do like manual smelting or something like that. Though I'm probably just going to set up some more heat transmitters and more furnaces for like manual use stuff. There is that. And we're going to see how fast this thing smelts with the blasting augment. So this goes right in there. That's where our augment goes. We have, you know, the one augment slot. So now if we throw in iron, oh, it's so fast. Is that half cook time? I can't really tell. It's like pretty fast. Yeah, I feel like that's like quite a bit faster, because if we pull this out, you know, it's not like super fast, but then we throw that in, it feels faster. And actually, I tell you what would be a good idea for this. Let me grab this. Let me grab this. Yeah, I can just move it this way. We'll just set it up here, in fact. And we'll drop that back in. Could have left it, but we're going to say the right-hand side is input. And we're going to say the left-hand side is going to be output. And we're going to say auto input true, auto output true. And that way it can just handle moving all the items for us. So, yay. And then the items can then automatically be sent off over to here. Extractor module in here. Let me just grab this. Let me grab this. Let me grab this. Means our dump chest is going to be in a different place, but that's okay. We'll toss that there. And there we go. The aluminum automatically comes into this. Oh, this is going to be so nice. And then what we'll do is just put down our inventory node. I will have to run a routing node over, I'm sure. That's okay. And then we'll just drop that into there. Because iron, like, man, I farmed for like, I don't know, like a while, it felt like, after last episode. And it's like, I came out with like 2.5 stacks of iron or whatever, which felt like a lot. As well as a lot of other really useful things. But it's like, it just went. It just, with the price of like hoppers and things, it's just like, oh my god, you need so much iron. But now that's not really going to be a concern for us, because we're just going to have like infinite. I am going to have to make space in this because it's quickly going to get filled up, I imagine, with metals. So, but let's go ahead. I'm going to need a node. Instead of doing this, because like, this is cool and all, but there's really no actual point in it. Oh, I got so much metals. There's actually no real point, now that I think about it, because I'd be just as well off setting up this over there than this over there, you know. And we'll just set that up right there. That up. That up. Okay, we have officially ran through the ender chest, and the hopper is empty, so everything is in the crusher at the moment. But how much that actually ends up being, I don't remember how big the crusher's buffer is. It's actually pretty big, though. And sadly, we can't see its inventory holding shift. But already, like, this is feeling like such a good payoff. It's still kicking away. And I looked earlier, and we were still sitting positive on power on diesel. Yeah, 452.8. And we're running the crusher nonstop. We're running an electric furnace now nonstop. Of course, it will probably catch up. But I seem to remember that the pump jack ratio for diesel engines is like 2 to 1, right? Especially lubricated. So like one pump jack can do 2 engines, I think, is right. Which, especially after plugging up the portable generators, it does feel that way. It does. I remember we were struggling before the portable generators, but now we're just like smooth sailing as far as energy goes. Like we're chunking out a lot of energy. All right, at this point, I'm kind of thinking, let's move this and let's just set up a normal chest there. That way I can save this diamond crate, because kind of what I'm thinking is, for right now, I have a ton of metals, and I really don't need all of these stored in here. And maybe even make just another metal area that's, well, actually, if we move these tags and just have this as a supplier, that might work. I don't know. I might do that. Just put a inventory node on this one, move all of this over to there, and then just set up an inventory node on this one that all it has is like a provider module for now. Please drop. Ah, yeah. Okay. So now let me fire up some blaze rods. I want to get some lubricant going over to the crusher. Okay, we are ready to get our ender tank. There's that. Let me go sleep real quick. And let's go ahead and we'll just set this up. Well, let me go ahead and put the diamond on it. Let me go grab the diamond. Ooh, almost hit that. I swear I'm turning my base into like... Oh yeah, it's not over here anymore. I'm turning my base into just one big death trap. I'm going to have to get diamonds soon. That's okay. And we'll just set this down. Set that to output. And you can see the crusher is going to speed up. Actually, quite substantially here. It's like close to double speed, it seems like. Look at it, just kicking away. The chest is not going to store it. I'm afraid to say, this chest is not going to hold everything. I don't know if it's really necessary. I think this is probably going to run out of ores before this chest fills up. Because, like, that furnace is going to be cooking faster than this is getting ores, I imagine. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good spot for us. Between episodes, I'm probably going to do some rearranging, because next episode I want to actually set off for just a little bit of automation related to these nice hopper botany pots and making treated wood and stuff. So I'd like to do that come next episode. And then also do some storage related stuff. So I'm probably going to do a little bit of base organization. Oh, these Endermen, I swear. Do a little bit of base organization between episodes, because it's kind of a mess of wires and death everywhere. It warms my heart, because I was like so out of aluminum for a while, and I like never have to mine aluminum again. So it's quite nice. But yeah, so we're going to end out this episode here, but next episode, that's the goal, is just some automation and storage, basically some like housekeeping things that really need to be done. And probably, I will be honest, probably the sawmill, maybe the industrial squeezer, we'll see, but probably definitely the sawmill, and yeah, and then some other stuff. We need to maybe get, oh, it says kiln has been disabled to use silent mechanism alloy smelter. Let's go ahead and just turn this in then, because that's not even a thing. Oh, yeah, we could probably, well, no. No garden cloches just yet. But yeah, so anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, as always, be sure and hit that like button and go ahead and subscribe if you're not already to stay updated with when new videos come out. And I hope to see you guys next time. So until then, as always, do take care, stay safe. I'll see you guys then.